Good afternoon, YouTube. It's Saturday afternoon, April 1st, and I got a little story for you about a building here in town. And let me get around so I can talk to you. The building behind me here is what they call the Rock Building, and it's a Julia Randall Elementary School. And it was actually our first big school building that was built here. It was built by the CCC during the Depression, the Civilian Conservation Corps, as a public works project. And it was a big deal when they built it here. And I'm going to go back around the other side so I can talk to the camera a little better and make sure I know what I'm aiming at here. But for many years, the came to be known as the Rock Building, and that was the only school in town. And then, of course, they built a high school and a junior high, and so this is now became one of the elementary schools. Well, the Rock Building served for many, many years, and when they replaced it with the building that's over here, well, then there was a question about what to do with the Rock Building. And what they ultimately ended up doing is they ended up remodeling it and making it into school district offices, and that's what it's used for right now. So it's a very historic building. But my story today is I want to tell you a little bit about a fire we had back in about probably 1970, I'm going to say 73, might have been 74, at this building. Well, what you're looking at here was actually a gymnasium, and it had on the left side of the picture, that end of the building had a stage, and the rest of it was a basketball court. Now behind this building, and I'm trying to figure out a way to film it right, but I think I'll just try talking about it. There's a hallway that goes straight away from the direction that we're pointing, and then there's classrooms on either side of it. And so this was the gymnasium, and then the classrooms were down on the other side of the building. And it's been a fixture in the community for many, many, many years. And anyway, back in the early 70s, we got a call for a fire down here. And I had just been promoted to be the assistant fire chief, and I was a volunteer. Everybody were volunteers in those days. And before that, I was the training officer. I was a lieutenant. I was the training officer. And my job, so to speak, was to be super aggressive. Now, as a firefighter, when I was young, I was kamikaze aggressive. We didn't have the safety requirements that we do now, and we didn't know as much about things as we know now. And we had a handful of us young guys that were just crazy aggressive, and I was one of them. So anyway, we got down here, and this building, if you can imagine, this building was full of black smoke, clear down to the floor. Now, I knew that there was some kind of a stage play thing that was going on, and I knew where the stage was, and I knew that big open building, there wasn't a lot of other contents in it. So I figured the most likely place for the fire to be would be at the stage. But the visibility in there was just about zero. So being that, like I say, there was a few of us real young, super aggressive guys, and we got in here on the first engine, and we put on our breathing apparatus, and we went in, we took the line in the door, and immediately started heading for where the stage was. Well, we couldn't see anything, but we knew basically where we were. We weren't afraid of getting lost, and we knew we could follow our hose line back out if something bad happened. So anyway, we kept going. We got right up next to the stage. We could see a glow, and when we could see the glow, we knew the fire was there. We got a little closer, and finally we could actually see, and what it was they had some wooden framed canvas painted stage props, and they were all on fire and burning merrily. And of course, this building, that was long in the days before sprinklers. And so anyway, we were in the right place at the right time, and we opened up our line on it, and we knocked that fire down. And basically the two of us, before the whole rest of the cavalry got here and everything got all set up, the two of us basically saved this building. Now, there's a little more to what happened that day, because the fire got high enough that we wanted to get up into the attic. And as you can see, it's got a new roof on it now, but it didn't have that as nice a roof in those old days. And Anyway, we got some long ladders and got up there where we could get access to the attic. And while we were checking for fire extension up in the attic, we found out the whole attic was full of bats. And there was bat guano about a foot deep back there. And so we're rummaging around up in the attic, making sure there was no smoldering spots. And we were dumping just buckets full of bat guano down off inside out of that attic. I don't know how many years and how many colonies of bats lived up there, but that was quite the production. And of course, you know, the truss work and everything was pretty tight up there, and you know, we weren't very good about wearing breathing apparatus in those days, and we took a lot of chances, and some of us are paying for it now. But anyway, the two of us single-handedly, basically, we went in there like gangbusters, no safety backup, no nothing, but we found the fire, we put it out, and we saved the building, and it's still standing. So that's kind of my story for today. But just to add a little, just you know, this was one of the first stone buildings in town, because most everything, we had a lot of pine trees in those days, and we had a lumber mill, and most everything was built out of the locally cut ponderosa pine. And one of the issues with ponderosa pine, let me come back around again. One of the issues with ponderosa pine is that it's a soft wood, and it's a favorite food for termites and wood ants. And a lot of our old buildings, they fell victim to that. And we had a lot of fires in the old days because, you know, the technology wasn't what it is now, and the safety practices weren't there, and everybody heated with wood. A lot of times when you heat with wood, you end up with a fire, and there's a whole story there too. And maybe I'll tell that on another one. But so basically, most all of our major commercial structures over the years, they either burned down or they ended up having to be torn down because of the termites and the wood ants destroyed them. So anyway, that's kind of my story for today. I'll go ahead and close this one right now. I got another one I'm kicking around in my head that I'll tell. But I'll let you go for now. So it's a beautiful day. It's up in the mid-60s. It's absolutely stunning weather. Long time coming. We're happy to see it here. And we'll let you go for now. So as I always tell you, love each other, take care of each other. It's a wonderful life. And until I talk to you again, I'll just say peace out.